Hello from Londonist again. Today we're going to talk about 10 songs that has taken to write. And I'm also a singer-songwriter, so I know how the process can get hard and very easy at times. So we're going to take a look at history's most effective 10 songs that has taken less than 10 minutes to write. So inspiration is fleeting. It's up to the songwriter to bottle those lightning as fast as they can and get the golden chorus before the phone starts or life disturbs them in a way. But sometimes it takes faster than that. It comes quick as this and the song goes on. Even in 5 minutes, you can have a genius masterpiece in your mind. Here are some of the most speedily captured flashes of inspiration in music history. Ray Charles, What I'd Say. Nicki Minaj, Superbass. The Guess Who, American Woman. Lady Gaga, Just Dance. Ed Sheeran, Photograph. Adele, Hometown Glory. Mumford & Sons, The Cave. Wiz Khalifa featuring Charlie Puth, See You Again. The Beatles, Yesterday. So each of these songs might have taken minutes to write, but the inspiration and experience behind it has been built over years. So that moment is a training of years of inspiration and artistic talent. First, I'm going to inform you about Ray Charles's The Jazz House Pocket Legend. I'm going to read you to that because I'm not informed as well. So I'm going to learn and I'm curious about it. At a 1958 gig in Bronzeville, Pennsylvania, he found himself 12 minutes short of material and with an expectant audience waiting to dance. Oh, cool! Turning to the Wurlitzer electric piano he brought with him because he hated relying on venues to provide a decent piano to play. That's a good thing for a musician. I mean, it's Ray Charles. He pounded out an insistent 4-note riff, set a rumba beat, and began jamming boogie-woogie licks over the top of it. His horn section joined in, playing steps, then Ray improvised a couple of verses. Oh my god, I can't believe that's how the song was written. I mean, it feels like it was meant to be at that moment. Everything prepared for that song to come out for that moment. So that's how What I Say It has come out. So Nicki Minaj's Superbass. BBC News recently ran a report on the amount of professional songwriters used to create certain hits, with some being experienced in beats and grooves, some working on melodies and some bringing the key moment, the hook line, written by specialists known as topliners. Esther Dean is a particularly hot topliner of the moment, having written refrains for Rude Boy and S&M by Rihanna and Turn Me On by David Guetta. She also wrote the Boom Ba-Doom Boom Boom Ba-Doom section of Nicki Minaj's Superbass, and like all of her greatest creations, she claims never to have spent more than 5 minutes on any song. Oh my god! She seems like a genius to me. She told The New Yorker, I go into booth and I scream and I sing and I yell. And sometimes it's words, but most time it's not. And I just see when I get these little chill here, and then I'm like, yeah, that's the hook. Good way to go. I mean, if you're doing the job you love, you never work for once, do you? The Guess Who, American Woman. I think this is a similar story to Ray Charles's moment at the gig. So the Guess Who were playing in a curling rink in Ontario, Canada. Different place though. When lead guitarist Randy Bachman broke a string. Things are getting pretty exciting. During the quiet of the tuning process with the replacement string, he found himself playing a neat circular riff, which rather caught his ear. God is leading him to the song. So he turned his guitar up and played it again, and the rest of the band joined in. With singer Borton Cummings making up the lyrics on the spot. Having spotted a fan with a cassette recorder in the crowd, the band asked for a copy. Oh my god, that's their luck, which they then recreated almost note for note in the studio. They were lucky. They were lucky. Or I don't know if you create your own luck. I mean, it depends on how good a musician you are in that kind of uncertainty. What would you do? You would come up with a genius masterpiece, won't you? Lady Gaga, Just Dance. I'm curious about this one. Working in a similar manner to Esther Dean, Lady Gaga, Red One and Akon took a naggingly catchy synth refrain in the studio and then quickly pilled up as many melodic ideas against it and they could think of, seeing which ones would stick and arranging them in order. They're naturals. There's the rise and fall of the worst melody, those little backing vocals, the triumph chorus yell, and the doo-doo she answers it with. Each part was slotted into place to try and write the most uplifting song possible. At great speed, as Gaga told Heat magazine, it's been unbelievable the way the song has crossed over into the mainstream. It took 10 minutes to write. Well, I think it doesn't matter how much it took for you to write it. It means the energy you've given in is more than 10 minutes. Ed Sheeran Photograph. Similarly, Ed Sheeran was messing about with loops and the laptop belonging to Johnny McCade of Snow Patrol, and he seized upon one which was just a sweet little piano refrain, something that refrain made him think of recent heartbreak, and the physical objects people clinch onto in order to try and preserve their feelings. Within minutes, he had basics of one of the biggest singles, as he later told Capital FM, I wrote it with Johnny from Snow Patrol and he just had a loop on his laptop and he just put down that was just a 3-note piano thing. I just started singing song over that. Loving can hurt, loving can hurt. Oh, I love that song. And then the song just kind of fell out within about 10 minutes. I mean, the best things come naturally. That's a proof of that. So Adele, Hometown Glory. Sometimes you don't even have to train to be a songwriter. And sometimes what it requires for you to be a songwriter, maybe you should be in the middle of an argument that you should be so passionate about. And you shouldn't find enough platform to express yourself. So you just go into your feelings and feel the need to express them out in an artistic way. So that's what happened to Adele, obviously. After quite a long discussion with her mom about whether she should leave West Norwood and head for university, she huffed off to her room, no doubt slamming the door and throwing herself on the bed, like every teenager does. But then words started to form about home, and about roots, and about taking your place. So she picked up her guitar, and you know how it went. Hometown Glory was written that way, just like a teenager would do. Mumford and Sons, The Cave. So there's nothing like a flush of first success for a band to boost their creativity, because when they reach the first level of success, everything seems possible, and the moment they get their instruments in their hands, I mean, magic happens. That's what feels like it, because they are at that point where they thought would be a dream, and they recognize that it's not. So they're more determined to make their other dreams come true. So that's what happened to Mumford and Sons. And audience were warming to their Bulligrass confessionals. The gigs were getting better and better. And they capped things off during the soundcheck at Edinburgh's Bannerman's Pub. Marcus Mumford suddenly started twiddling the opening guitar lines to That Would Be the Cave. The rest of the band joined him, and within minutes they had the essentials of a song that would go on to be nominated for 4 Grammy Awards, including Song of the Year and the Record of the Year. Wiz Khalifa featuring Charlie Puth, See You Again. It's been a long day without... Yeah, that's a very, very good song. In 2014, Charlie Puth was charged with the responsibility of writing the main melody to a song of the soundtrack to Fast and Furious 7. Whoa, what a responsibility and what a enjoyable work to do. That could capture some of the bittersweet feelings around the action movie, of course, after the sudden death of one of its stars, Paul Walker. He sat down at the studio piano of Justin Franks, also known as DJ Frankie, thinking about Paul and other friends of his who had also died in a car accident, and began to play. It just seemed to occur from out of nowhere, he told the Los Angeles Times. And basically 10 minutes later, Justin and I wrote it. We sent it off, and I thought we'd never hear about it again. He later revealed to MTV News, I wrote the song on 17th July at 6 p.m. I know that because I have it saved in my phone, the lyric note. I want to frame that. I wrote it in 10 minutes, which is very unusual. Usually songs take a little bit longer to write for me. I sent it off to Wiz, and he wrote it really quickly too, because it came from a real place for him as well. Words come easy when they true. That's one of my favorite lyrics from Robbie Williams. That's true. So, The Beatles, Yesterday. I'm so curious about this one. I'm gonna read this very, very concentrated and serious because I take this song very seriously. The melody of Yesterday tumbled into Paul McCartney's head, fully formed during a dream. Good. Which he then had to capture in chords and words as soon as he woke up. It happens to me as well, like at 3 a.m. I just woke up from a dream and I have to record that voice. And if my phone isn't there, I'm messed up. Technically speaking, the whole song wasn't finished for some time after that, because he didn't believe it was his original melody and had to check by playing the song, complete with scratch lyrics about scrambled eggs, to anyone who might know where it came from. Eventually he gave up, deciding that if none of his Musa friends had heard it before, it must be new, because he felt like he knew it. Which puts the length of time it took to complete the song as somewhere between no time at all, several weeks. But really, all the heavy lifting had been done before he even yawned and opened his eyes. So today we shoot my favorite video. I was so into it and I was really happy about the information that gave me. And what I've learned from this information is that we shouldn't judge something to be perfect, because real things happen very naturally and a little amount of time. So sometimes effortlessness is the biggest effort you can give to your job. I'll see you in the next video of Londonist. Thank you for listening.